Dear student, in this lecture, I will tell you what's the critical thinking in teaching. Critical thinking in its most expression, critical thinking occurs when students are analyzing, evaluating, interpreting, and synthesizing information and applying creative thought to form an argument, solve problem, or reach a conclusion. So, teaching critical thinking skill is necessary with our students because they are crucial skill for solving life. It's more than just thinking clearly or rationally. It's about thinking independently. Critical thinking about something means formulating your own opinion or drawing your own conclusion. You may ask, what are the 5 critical thinking skills? The key critical thinking skills are analysis, interpretations, inferences, explanation, self-regulation, open-mindedness, and problem solving. Similarly, you may ask, why is critical thinking important for teacher? In school, critical thinking improve problem solving ability and help in decision making by exactly guesswork. Organization ability improve, save time. Critical thinking teaching how to prioritize time and resources, allowing you to only analyze what is needed. What is critical thinking and why it is important? Critical thinker make better decision. At work, you may have to make decisions that can alter the course of your career or the lives of others. Critical thinking helps you cope with everyday problems as they arise. It's a promote independent thinking and strength your inner. What are some examples of critical thinking? Here are example: observation. Observation skills are the starting point for critical thinking. Analyze. Once a problem has been identified, analyze skill become essential. Inferences, communication, and problem. And there are nine elements of critical thinking. These are 9 intellectual standards we use to assess thinking clearly: accuracy, precision, relevance, depth, breadth, logic, significance, and fairness. Let us check them. How can we improve critical thinking in classroom? Here is a list of tutors may generate powerful critical thinkings in their student, which will serve them well for the rest of their life. Open and question, problem solving, encourage creativity, interactive game, teach independently. Ideal example: classification and vocabulary lesson. You may also ask, how can you encourage critical thinking in classroom? Answer is, there are 5 ways to get your student thinking critically. Think out loud. Talk on your way through your thoughts. Process as you work out some basic questions about the subject you are teaching. Give students something to think about. Assign work. Allow time for reflections. Provide opportunity to show problem solving. How do we implement critical thinking? You will find 7 ways to get started. Ask basic question. The word is complicated. Question basic assumption. Be aware of your mental process. Try reversing think. Evaluate the existing evidence. Remember to think for yourself. Understand that no one thinks critically 100%. Can you teach critical thinking? Can we teach critical thinking? Answer is yes. but with certain limitation. Even with a single domain, critical thinking is complex, higher order skill that is harder to learn and even harder to transfer across domain. For example, I'm cognitive psychologist who happen to enjoy science fiction. Can thinking be taught in classroom? For most tests, students memorize information and repeat back to you. It does not require them to think critically. Project, essay, class activity, and other methods can be just as effective while pushing students to think about what they are learning in a new way. Can critical thinking be taught in classroom? Critical thinking is not only necessary for school-age children but also very much for higher learning. That said, critical thinking does not have to taught for examination to earn its place on the school timetable. Many schools teach children to question, analyze, and reflect on what they are learning. What is the benefit of critical thinking? You can gain numerous benefits from mastering critical thinking skills, such as a better control of your own learning and empathy for other point of view. Critical thinking is sharp, self-directed, self-disciplined, self-motivated, and self-correcting. What's the purpose of critical thinking? Critical thinking is about making the best possible decision by considering all sides to topic or issue, weighing the pros and cons, making sure your own conclusions are not biased, making sure your judgment is not being affected by faulty reasoning or inaccurate information. What are the uses of critical thinking? Someone will critical thinking skill can understand the link between ideas, determine the importance and relevance of argument and ideas, recognize, build and apprise argument, identity inconsistency and error in reasoning, approach problem, a consider and psyche way. What is critical important problem? Critical thinking is companion to critical thinking, is an invaluable skill to college student. It is important because it helps you to look at the problem and situation from a fresh perspective. Creative thinking is a way to develop a novel, unorthodox solution that do not depend wholly on past and current solution. What is the concept of critical thinking? Simple. Critical thinking defines critical thinking means making reasoned judgment that are logical and well thought out. It is a way of thinking in which you do not simply accept all argument and conclusion you are exposed, but rather you have attitude involved questioning such argument and conclusion. So, last not least, what are the barriers to critical thinking? At a personal level, barrier to critical thinking can be arise through an over-reliance on feeling, emotion, self-centered, social culture-centered thinking, and so many others. So it is a brief lecture about the critical thinking. If you like this lecture, please subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon for watching the upcoming videos. Thank you very much.